Buonasera! Welcome to DAgostinos Trattoria. Again, this is our second week here doing this video series. Last week actually we had the chicken cacciatore, and this week we're doing homemade gnocchi. First I want to reintroduce, if you missed us last week, Chef Dan and Brandy, mom and pop business here at DAgostinos Trattoria. Chef Dan, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Brandy, how are you?
Great. How's everybody?
We're doing great, thank you. And how about remind us where the business is located?
Las Vegas, in Spring Valley, West Flamingo, and Buffalo Drive, behind the Walgreens.
All right, so if you know where Desert Breeze Park is, we're on the opposite corner. And the email address?
DAgostinos Trattoria, no punctuation, no spaces, @gmail.com.
And so Mike Skelton, if you're watching, you won last week's gift card for posting your picture of the chicken cacciatore. So here's the gift card right there. So make sure you email us or message us through Facebook and we'll get that out to you right away. All right, so we're going to move on to the gnocchi. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to start with here. I know that some people use leftover mashed potatoes. You're using leftover baked potatoes today, right?
Yes, this is a perfect way to use up some leftover baked potatoes if you have them from a previous dinner of the week. We're gonna just cut these in half.
Hey guys, while you're watching this, if you have questions, go ahead and type them in and I'll see if I can get Dan to answer them.
And we're just going to scoop the potato out. Now if you want to, you can save the skins and make potato skins for a snack. Add some chopped bacon, some cheese, some sour cream, some chives, or some scallions. Save that shell just like that, and you can fill it with whatever you want. Do some potato skins.
Might have to do that with your leftovers tonight for me. Can I take those home?
Sure.
Shelby wants to know if we can use other types of potatoes like sweet potatoes.
Absolutely.
Anything starchy, right?
Yeah, anything starchy. I'm using russets. Russets are definitely one of the heaviest starchy potatoes, which helps bring the dough together. You may just have to make some adjustments on your flour to get it to come together, but I'll show you how to do it to get the dough together, and you can just make adjustments on your own side. I would say if you're going to use leftover mashed potatoes, if you incorporated a fair amount of butter or cream or milk into the mashed potatoes, you're going to need to overcompensate for the flour to get your dough to come back. But it can be done.
Try it, Shelby, and let us know how it turns out.
So when I do this at my house, and I think Mom does the same thing, we end up with maybe just 1 or 2 cups of potato left over from whatever we were doing with it. And you know, it's not enough to feed a whole family, but when you turn it into gnocchi, you can seriously feed an army with that because of the food it makes and its density as well. You really don't need a lot of this to get full.
Okay. So now we have the potatoes, cooked potatoes in a bowl. We're not going to actually mash these at all. We're just going to break them up. One good way to do this is if you have a ricer. You can push the potato through the ricer and it just saves you a little time, little work with the fork here. But the important thing is that you don't mash it too much. You want to keep the potato rather chunky.
Why is that?
Well, you don't want to mash it because then you're going to get into a situation where you're trying to make real actual dough. This is really just incorporating air. Keep it light and fluffy.
Jeffrey Anderson says hi from Michigan.
Hey Jeff, what's going on, buddy?
We got our cousin Angela Parado watching from Canandaigua, New York.
Hey
Angela.
Ciao, Angela.
Buonasera.
Has Angela actually seen the wall? The DAgostinos wall? Well, she'll have to make a trip up here.
Okay, so I have a well in the center here. 2 egg yolks. And we're gonna just kind of work a little bit of that in. And then we're gonna add some salt and pepper. It's important to season the potatoes so they're not bland. And we're just gonna add a little bit of flour at a time.
So Mary Jane asks what kind of potatoes. We're using russets this time.
Just a little bit of flour at a time. And it's important to mention when you're getting the dough together, we're not going to actually knead the dough at all. We're not trying to activate the gluten in the flour at all. We're just using flour and egg as a binder.
Don't you need the dough to make gnocchi?
Thanks, Brandy. Yes, you need dough to make gnocchi.
You walked into that one.
Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't been to DAgostinos Trattoria yet, this is the kind of fun that you can watch them having from the dining room. The kitchen is open to the dining room, and the whole staff just has fun with each other and with their customers the entire time. It's still a romantic atmosphere here, but it's also lighthearted and energetic, so perfect of both worlds. Hey, Frank and Norma Davis, thanks for joining.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Norma Davis.
Norma Davis loves our chicken marsala. It's her favorite. And the crab martini as well.
Tori Pennock Larmore is dialed in. She's watching. Gnocchi is one of her favorites. So, Tori, we're going to have you make sure you cook it and post your picture.
Yes, Tori's been asking me to do this for quite a while, so. Okay. So, we have kind of a nice dough ball here. A little sticky still, but that's okay. We're gonna incorporate some flour to start rolling it out now. Good way to tell if your dough is right, you should be able to roll it without leaving a bunch of potato and stuff behind. Nice compact. Okay, and we're just going to form this into kind of a log.
Is there a gluten-free recipe?
Well, you could use gluten-free flour.
You can use rice flour.
Rice flour or something.
Okay. Now we're going to use our bench scraper to cut sections. And then we're going to roll these out into ropes. Pushing lightly from the center out. Okay.
You could get your children involved in this too.
Yeah, this would be fun for the family to get involved with.
Roll it like a snake.
Give each little piece to one of the kids and have them roll it out.
We're just going to do one more. So while I'm doing this, my favorite sauce for gnocchi is pink vodka sauce. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to do a plain, very simple brown butter, sage, and sweet peas.
That sounds good.
So I have over on the stove, I have some heavy cream reducing. You need to reduce it by about half, and definitely use low heat because once it starts to boil, if you're on high heat, it's gonna overflow pretty quick. Okay, so now we're gonna start cutting our gnocchi. Excuse me. About a 1/2 inch to 1 inch little pillows.
Jane Weck says hi.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
She doesn't have potatoes, but she's going to save the recipe for hubby.
Okay. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this to shape. You can leave them like this. There's nothing wrong with that. Just soft little pillows. You can make a little indention.
So just poke your finger in it. And guys, this isn't supposed to be like super fancy, so don't worry about it being, you know, like you see from the frozen food section. This is peasant food, and it's meant to be exactly that.
I'm gonna try one.
Okay.
Brandy's gonna give it a shot here.
Gonna roll the fork very lightly and just make that little indention there. No pressure at all. I'm just rolling and then using the tines.
Just to make a little divot in it, that's all, right?
Yeah, just to help grab the sauce. Don't get frustrated if you can't do this the first time. It takes practice.
I've seen someone get frustrated before.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
You can do it down the back side of it too, I've seen too, right?
Yeah, let's try that.
Put the fork down and you just roll it down the back. Very, very lightly, right? You just want to do get a little mark in it. Nice job, Brandy.
Thanks. Hope they taste good.
Okay, so we're gonna do some of the little, just the pillow shaped ones for the brown butter and sage. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those in the water.
Important to have it really boiling hard, right?
Yeah. And salted water. Make sure you have your water at a full boil before you add the salt.
Also, I've made the mistake myself at home. Sometimes I've gotten in a hurry and I put too many at a time in there, and they just all end up clumping together. So don't put too much in there all at once in the water. Stir it around a little bit, and you'll know that they're done when they start to float.
So we have the reduced cream. I added some tomato sauce to it. We're going to add a pinch of salt. Because we're adding ingredients, the heavy cream doesn't have any sodium in it whatsoever, so don't be afraid to season it. And in another pan, I'm going to start doing the butter.
I've never tried gnocchi before, so I'm excited.
We're going to try it today then, huh? Well, gnocchi is one of my favorite menu items here at DAgostinos Trattoria. I get it probably at least one every other time I come, and sometimes for a side dish. So you can see now that they're floating, right?
Now once they float, you want to give them another at least 30 seconds to cook through. You can see mine aren't perfect. That's kind of the point. You don't have to be a professional to do this. And that's how you know they're homemade, right?
What is the proper way to say gnocchi? Is it gnocchi?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
The G and the N. In Italian, the G and the N make a sound gnocchi. Gnocchi. So if you've ever heard the term brown butter sauce, that's what we're getting right here. I'm going to shut the heat down. See how the butter is browned a little bit? That brings out that nuttiness in the butter. Straight in the pan. We're going to add our peas. Pinch of salt. And then lastly, some fresh sage.
So we have cousin Shirley from down south. I think, are you in Ensenada, Mexico, cousin? But she wants to know, can you do these ahead of time and freeze them before you boil them?
Yes.
They do freeze pretty well.
Yeah.
You can also roll them out thinner if you have extra dough and make French fries out of them. Deep fry.
Gnocchi with peas and fresh sage. We'll do a little pecorino romano and parmesan blend on top.
And this cheese here that you have is imported from Italy, correct?
Yes. Okay. Now we're going to do our thick vodka sauce.
The vodka is only for cooking, I swear.
Alright. Into the water. Drop water.
So obviously, Chef Dan, really any kind of sauce. If you wanted to do a cream sauce, a bechamel, a bolognese.
Bolognese is great.
regular
Okay, here we go.
Pomodoro.
Here comes the fun part. Adding in the vodka. Probably 2 ounces.
So while we're waiting for this to come together, what we would like you guys to do, we picked the last two. We did chicken cacciatore last week, which is still posted to our Facebook page. And obviously today you're watching us do gnocchi a couple of different ways. If you would like to see a special kind of dish prepared for you next week as an example of how you can do your cooking at home, just put it on the DAgostinos Trattoria Facebook page, tag us on it, and let us know what you would like us to cook next Thursday, and we'll pick something from the group, from the options that we have, and we'll post that to the Facebook page, and we'll give credit for whoever's idea it was that we took their idea from. If you're watching this too, feel free to please click the share button or start a watch party. It's kind of fun to get more people involved in this too.
Alright, gnocchi is ready. And then the last thing, we have some fresh mozzarella. I'm going to turn off the heat. And we're just going to add our diced fresh mozzarella.
And that comes from Italy as well?
This is domestic.
That's domestic. The burrata you bring in, right?
Yeah. Okay. And we're done.
Jamie Ridgway says, Tyler says your Italian wedding soup is the best. Maybe soup next week?
Well, it's getting
That looks delicious.
Getting a little warm for soup. Okay. So, gnocchi with fresh mozzarella, pink vodka sauce.
Great. So what
Brady,
kind
would
of...
you like to try it?
Why, sure. I'm gonna try this one. Is that the cheese or the gnocchi? Mucho.
First time's a charm, right? All right, so what kind of wines do you have for us today? What do you think would be going really well with this?
I chose a Sassa Regale Sangiovese from Italy, of course. Has a nice fruit-forward, jammy flavor. It's a beautiful wine. Hints of smoke, strawberries, vanilla, and a touch of spice. Finished and well balanced.
That sounds great.
Not sure why we didn't open that one first. And then I chose a nice Chianti. This is one of the top 25 Chiantis in the world right now. It's delicious. Thank you, Breakthrough Beverage, for introducing us to this. Beautiful, light and smooth, with hints of green herbs, red cherries, tobacco, and oak, with a moderate tannic finish.
That sounds fantastic.
Who needs a glass?
Right? All right. Thank you, everybody, for... Yeah, let's open it up. So just like last week, we're going to put a little contest out there while she's opening up this bottle and invite everyone to make their own homemade gnocchi. There's plenty of recipes out there. You've seen a couple of really easy ones today, especially this one with the sage, butter and sage and a little bit of peas. Good heavens, that's so easy. I'm going to try that myself. Post your pictures and make sure you post it with the tag of DAgostinos Trattoria so that we can make sure that we see it on our Facebook page. And just like last week, we're going to pick a winner for next Thursday and send you a $25 DAgostinos gift card. So let's have a toast to good health.
To good health.
And fabulous wine.
Stay
Salud.
safe, everyone. Salud. We'll see you next week. Mangiare.
Mangiare.
Send us some things to cook.
Bye-bye, guys. Ciao.
Cheers.